Hey friends, back again with our Three Rivers Pantry Challenge weekend review. And this past week is going to be my final week for this challenge. I don't know if you remember last week, we talked about we'd see what Punxsutawney Phil had to say about the weather. Although it's just fun and it's just an animal on whether or not he sees his shadow, I'm going to go with it. It's going to be my deciding factor because outside, my animals are also telling me it sounds like spring. I'm hearing birds. Yesterday I saw geese flying over. They're coming back. And so I think that I'm going to probably be busy outside working on stuff. And before you know it, the farmer and I are going to be back in the field planting and getting things ready for that season of our life. It's also the month of February is when we go to the farm show. My dad has some doctor's appointments I'll be joining him with, and just lots of other different little things going on that will lead to me probably eating out. And so to be fair, we went ahead and we stopped on the 2nd, and I will show you what we did before that, but at that point on, we went ahead and went to the grocery and picked up a few things that we could have lived without. We went ahead and just chose to go ahead and grab them and call the pantry challenge for what it is. However, we still want to put a full year into working through our pantry. Our life is a little bit different now that the kids are moving out, starting their own families, not bringing over friends. And so we've got stuff we want to work through. And don't worry, I'm going to have lots of videos showing you the things that we're using just the same. But I'm going to sneak to the grocery store every once in a while and get a few things that we like to add to our menu. I know what you're all here for. What did we eat this week? So on Sunday morning, I decided to make some oatmeal. My husband likes his with just brown sugar. I like to go ahead and add extra stuff to mine. So this morning, I decided I'm going to get out some of our homemade raisins that I made a while back. They need to be used. They're starting to crystallize just slightly. And then I love cinnamon, so I went ahead and sprinkled some cinnamon on top mine too. And then for lunch/supper that day, we got invited over to families to watch the big football games that were back to back. So we just kind of had a lunch/supper buffet. And then Monday, I had a little bit of the homemade bread that we had made with the Amish friendship starter. So I made the toad in a hole again. We unexpectedly had to go out of town. We started with all the surrounding towns. They didn't have what we needed, so we went out to eat for lunch because we were starving, and came home for supper, and I put together a sandwich with some canned fruit. And then on Tuesday, I woke up that morning and thought, you know what sounds really good? A yogurt parfait. I had found this yogurt in the fridge that had kind of gotten forgotten, and I'm still working my way through this granola. I had a package of the almond and walnuts. They're unsalted. It was like a little snack pack that my daughter had gotten, and she didn't want it, so I thought I'm going to use this up before these nuts go bad, and made myself a yogurt parfait. And then for lunch, I went through the last of the bread that I found that was store-bought and ended up making us some grilled cheese. I had some red beans and rice in a store-bought can and some homemade cinnamon pickles. It was good. And then after lunch, I went ahead and got in the freezer and I grabbed a bag of the unstuffed pepper mix. I like to make enchiladas with this. It is super simple, super easy. I just took some cream of mushroom soup, some homemade salsa, this mix with a thing of tortillas I had in the freezer, plenty of cheese, used up the very, very last of the sour cream, and a can of olives, and the family gobbled it all up. Here we are. It's already Wednesday. And then for breakfast this next morning, I decided to go ahead and make some scrambled eggs to put on. I had a heel of the white and a heel of the pesto bread, and Farmer and I made an egg sandwich unopened sandwich breakfast. Lunch, I had a can of stewed apples that I had made and peanut butter and jelly. For supper, we decided to have like a snack bar. We had some beef sausage, a couple different kinds of cheese. We had some Hawaiian rolls that we forgot about that we've had for a while, some popcorn, and it was just a relaxed evening of games and videos and snacking. As you can tell, my meals are starting to be repetitive and quick and easy and fast. It's that time of year, we're getting busy, and it kind of was like, this might be boring for you guys. Probably should come to an end. For breakfast this day, I found some everything bagels, and I forgot about this sour cream and chive cream cheese that I had purchased. I also had some strawberry back in there. How did I miss that? Anyway, I think it was because I kept thinking I would use it and never did. But when we got these bagels, I thought, yes, this is going to be great. So I fried up an egg and some cheese. It was delicious. The farmer's not a bagel fan, so he did his own thing, but I sure enjoyed it. And then for lunch, our day got away again, and I thought, what am I going to make? The very, very last of the flour tortillas, I made quesadillas again for lunch, and everybody loved it. I will say, though, we did not necessarily like the ranch as the substitute for our sour cream, but we did make do. And then I was exhausted and not really feeling the best this last evening. And my son said, what are we going to have for supper? And I said, okay, I don't know. And then I remembered I had my soup that I made back in September. And so he brought up a few jars of that. We had some hamburgers, so I cooked it. I had some zucchini that I had freeze dried. And we added all that together with I added some water to kind of rehydrate the zucchini. And it actually turned out to be a pretty good meal. It was that spicy lentil soup, and we added some crackers, and we enjoyed this warm meal.
Thank you so much for
on a cool
participating
evening
with me this past month in the Three Rivers Pantry Challenge. And I really hope you stick around because there are future collaborations and videos that I will still be using out of the pantry. Bye for now, friends. We'll see you next time.